Hi everyone, welcome to Just Vibes with the Click podcast with your boy Peace Jane. And today we have another two guests. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, my name is Yongama Mayaba and my celebrity crush is Queen Latifah.
Okay.
Interesting one. How's it everyone? I'm Vegitemba. My celebrity crush is Dr. Nandi Pajens. You know why? You know why? You know that phrase from Fast and Furious, ride or die, you ride or die?
Yeah.
She's the first one, eh? She can be the only one that says, I love you to Tanzania and back. Like, gee.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I rate that. Well done. Oh man. So yeah, guys. Okay, just to answer that group question, my celebrity crush is my girlfriend.
yeah. Pick a game.
Nah, chief. Need to choose another one.
No, I think nah. On the real, I think my celebrity crush is Zendaya.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, guys. So today's topic, now, I want to start off a new segment, right? And I want to call Inside Varsity. So where we talk about we talk about the stuff that varsities don't tell us when we join them, after we join them or before we join them. Because before we join them, it's always like, come to us, we have this, we have that, we have nice socials, we have a good track team, we're good in sports, we've got the best funding, but then when you get inside, then you're on your own. Then those people who told you to come, you never see them again.
True.
So, yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, Yongi and Bex both go to Varsity College, and they're both going to finish this year by God's grace, And I just wanted to start off. I just wanted to start off. When you guys were deciding which varsities to go to, what drew you to Varsity College?
Nothing.
Oh, serious?
Honestly, for me, nothing. For me, to be brutally honest, Varsity College was a last resort. So because I did my applications to Varsity in 2020, right in the midst of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The listed dates for close of applications for vets and stuff like that are not when the applications actually close. They close much earlier. So time for me to apply, Zugu applications are closed. Now I'm looking for like a saving grace, and it so happens Varsity College. Obviously, as long as they've got money in your bank account, you're welcome. So that's why I ended up. It's really, let's be honest, Varsity College. Yeah. But anyway, that's how I ended up at Varsity College. My first preference was Vets or UP, but applications closed early and my doors closed to those.
Okay. And you, Yongi?
So my reason isn't very different from Biggie's one. For me, I never actually expected to get into a university. That was never an option because I know I'm not smart enough to go to an actual university. So I was like, varsity is the next best thing. And then when I was applying, I applied to Varsity College first before applying to any other college. And then when I got the letter of exception, like they accepted my application, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Then when I went to go register, I met with the student advisor and she was pretty chilled. She was explaining all the courses that they have, what it entails, and I was like, okay, this seems interesting, and I chose one that I liked, which was something I wanted to study anyway. It wasn't so different from what I actually wanted to study, so it was more or less the same course. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll pick that. And basically, yeah, she was like, do you have money? Money is what we want at the school. And I was like, yeah, my dad can afford the fees. And she was like, good, go and register. That's all we need. Thank you. You're coming to the school.
Yo, hectic. So these people are just about the money, Sham. No?
Hey, dude. I don't know if it's that blunt. For me, it wasn't that blunt. When I met my student advisor, it was really not that blunt. Like, I think school fees was the last thing he mentioned. He was busy selling the school on the doors it'll open you, the accreditation around the world, things like that. And then how much? In that number, yes. But yeah, no, it wasn't that blunt for me.
Oh, you got it. So,
I actually think that's interesting because my student advisor experience was a lot different. She said to me that I should think of the school as a business, not as a varsity. Because yes, it is a varsity, but it kind of is a business as well. So that's what they were worried about. So she said to me while I was applying, she said, if you can afford to pay the application fees and you can afford to pay like your school fees for the year, they'll take you. It's not difficult to get into varsity college, is basically what she said to me in not so many words. So once I came across that information, I was like, this is the school that I'm going into, especially since I'm not academic anyway.
But isn't that risky?
Yeah, no, varsity college, it's not really, you know how some varsity have minimum requirements to get in?
Yeah.
And varsity college, I think, has those for display.
Yeah.
Because you look at some people in your class and you're like, there's no way. There's no way you meet those minimum requirements in metric. But yeah, I think what Young is saying is very true. As long as you can afford it, they'll take you. That's just fact.
So at the end of the day, just like what he said, it's all about business. Like, I feel like their first priority is money, then education.
I don't know. Look, every varsity has everyone has their own stories about horrible lectures and stuff like that. And I think in my case, I've had my fair share of bad lectures, but on the opposite side of the spectrum, I've had good lectures as well. So I don't think it's necessarily a thing of having education aspect of it comes second. But obviously, any school, any business wants to be profitable. So I think their approach is, let's be profitable. And in doing so, obviously, to be profitable, you need to be providing a good service. So the lectures, they aren't necessarily horrible. They're good lectures. They're just a few There are just a few that are there that, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point that he made, and I do think it is like that. You know, it's not all about the money. Like, we just want money from these people. Although it may feel like that at times, I don't think that's all it is about, because you get not only lecturers, but also people that are part of the admin staff or the finance crew that are very dedicated, and they are there to actually ensure that things go according to plan. You know, they will help you out in whatever it is that you need assistance with. So you do get those people that are committed, dedicated, and they do it for a reason. But then again, it's very difficult to gauge which person is which, especially if you're still new in the school. You don't know anyone, you don't know much about what happens in the school. It becomes difficult for you to distinguish the right type of person to talk to.
Okay, yeah, I hear you. So, how was your guys' first year at VC?
I think Young, because you were there first, you go first.
Okay, so I've been in varsity on and off. So first year for me was 2019. And for me it was amazing. I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I had lecturers that were really good at what they were doing, you know. I didn't have a lot of issues with any lecturers. There was a lot of social interactions, because remember 2019 was before the whole coronavirus thing, before the whole COVID thing started. So it was very easy to meet people, to engage, you know, chill with your classmates. Even my classmates ended up being people that I chilled with outside of class. So in terms of the academic side, it was good. And in terms of the social side, it was good as well.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
I think for me, it was right in COVID. So 50% of my first year was online, and the social aspect of it was non-existent, apart from the interaction in class. And in general, I think compared to Yongi, I'm less of a social person. Like, even now, my varsity experiences: leave home, attend class, leave. I do not spend time talking to people and stuff. So even my first year, there was no social interactions. It was just class and leave. In terms of lectures, it was okay. I mean, in some cases, you can't necessarily put blame on the lecturer because the subject is just dead boring. So I had boring lectures, but I wouldn't want to say my lecturers were boring. So I had my fair share. It was good. I enjoyed varsity college first year. I think because in the first year they're still babying you. If you've got a problem, you can quickly run to, what is it called? Customer relations, no?
Yes.
Yeah, you can quickly run to customer relations and they'll solve your problem. So you're quite babied in your first year. And I think that just made the transition from high school to varsity much easier and more comfortable, apart from the whole COVID issue. But all I don't know, my first year was a good experience. I've got no pinch points from it, really.
I just want to go back to what you said. You said that if you guys had problems, you guys would go to customer relations. Is that like student services?
Yeah, it is. It's like it's its own building where you go there, go right over the issue, and then they sort you out. Any issue you have with varsity college, that's your first go to. Then if it's an
Hello, Chief.
Sorry?
You broke up there a bit.
Oh, yeah, no. So our student relations is like the center where you go whenever you have issues.
Oh. The thing is now, like the reason why I'm saying this is because in a normal institution, they call it student services or student what. They call you guys customers. Guys, it's about the money.
Exactly.
Guys, it's about the money. Customer relations. You guys are, dude. You guys are customers to them, dude. They don't respect you, these guys.
I think it's very interesting. Big room, like a lecture hall. That's what it was. There was no customer relations at all. So if you had an issue, you had to go see your head of department or the lecturer or someone in the admin crew, depending on what issue it is that you have. So those were the only options. You had to see your head of department or speak to the lecturer directly or go to someone which works for the school. So there was no customer relations in my first year.
Oh, okay.
That must have been horrible because you better believe first day of school, whatever it is, first day of first semester, first day of second semester, the line in customer relations is like long and it backs up on itself. That's how many people with problems on the first day. So I can imagine Nyongi's first year, that must have been atrocious. Because I mean, I guess that's why they introduced it, like a central point for people to go whenever they have problems.
Yeah, it was actually a solution because when they created customer relations, I was like, this makes the room, the customer relations room. I was like, this makes a lot of sense. Because in first year, the thing is, it's harder, especially if you have a question, but you don't know who to ask. Like you might, oh no, them is like, I have no idea. I don't know the answer to your question. Just wait here. Let me call someone else. So basically, for you to get your question answered, it becomes a long process. Whereas with customer relations, you can just go in, ask, and it'll be answered within seconds. Quickly, someone will solve your issue, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, that's really convenient. I rate that. Because trust me, I feel like in every varsity, you know, like what you hate are lines. When you like walk around the corner and then you see a line and you know that that line is for you, then you're like, do I really need to go to this place? It's a killer. But like, otherwise, like, how's the environment there? Like, how? Because the thing is, I've seen on other people's statuses, there's always something happening. You know, it's like a party.
It's a party. No, I think Yongi has a better perspective, and that's because he's been in these communities, and I would not touch them with a 10-foot pole.
Okay. Given that remark, I think I'd like to speak a little bit on that. So, for me, I think the dynamic switched when COVID came. Because in first year, I always wanted to be at school, like every day. That was when we used to have contact classes every single day. And I really didn't mind. Hey, I never used to complain about fuel or like parking or anything because I wanted to be at school. Because the classes were fun, we would engage. And then outside of class, we'd have campus activities, which made it worthwhile. You know, it actually made it worth coming to school. People used to come to class and then after attending their class, they just wouldn't leave. And I think my friends from first year can attest to that because it was so much fun. You never wanted to go home. Even when you had work that was due, you would finish the work. And then once you've submitted, the first thing you go and do is you go chill with your friends. Then you tell them how hectic it was to submit. And then if it's a Wednesday, we'd have Meridian Hour where something would be happening. I mean, just off the top of my head, I can name a few things that I did in first year during Meridian Hour. I remember there was these guys that came and they taught us how to play those African drums, and it was so fun. They were just teaching us how to make different beats, how to play those drums, and it was really cool. The other time we had people that came and spoke about career guidance. Lebo calls those people. She facilitates that department at VC. So Lebo would call them and then they would come, they would give us knowledge about the things that they've been through in their fields, how to pick a career, how to know if something is for you. And I'd attend those sessions and I'd leave there feeling like, you know what, I definitely learned something. So just to summarize so I don't talk for long, as of recently, those things are available to us, but I'm not sure if it's at the same level. Access to it is very simple, but what you learn from it has changed, is what I'm saying. So the information is different, and the fun activities we have, yes, we do have those as well. We had a music and poetry evening the other day, evening/afternoon actually, which I played at, which was really interesting. So yeah, it gives you a lot of freedom in terms of expression.
Well, that's good. That's cool. After today, after the situations or the things that happened today at VC, you make it sound really, really good.
What do you mean after today?
After today, guys, you know what happened today.
I have no idea what happened today.
I'm not gonna say it here. It's not the right platform, but today is the 13th of April. So those of you who know what happened today, know what happened today.
If you know, you know.
Exactly. If you know, guys. Don't, But Yongi, you sold it perfectly, man. You sold it perfectly. I thought you were gonna bring up the time when you entered. What's this? Was it Mr. and Mrs. VC?
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah. I actually forgot to mention that, but yeah, I didn't win, but honestly, I didn't care because I had so much fun doing it. That's really what mattered to me, I was disappointed when they announced the winner, okay, it wasn't me, cool, but I got over it very quickly because the experience in itself was very enjoyable. So yeah, given the fact that there are different activities, different events that happen at the school, those make up for a lot of the elements that are missing in the school.
Oh, okay, I feel you. Interesting vibes, man. Interesting vibes. Yeah. So how you get those those stories? Oh no, I met my significant other in varsity. We were studying the same subject and all that stuff. Has that happened to you guys?
Not at varsity college. Varsity college, yo. Yeah. No. You know what? Yeah. I know they say, varsity college, there's some beautiful creatures at varsity college, right?
Creatures?
But they'll ruin your life. Yeah. I've heard so many bad stories. Finding love at varsity college. Yeah, no, it's non-stop.
Is it Western Pretoria?
I don't know. I haven't been to Pretoria, I haven't experienced it, I've just heard stories. But varsity college is, thing is, with varsity college, from what I've seen, so between lectures we get a 10-minute break, okay, and everyone goes to the cafeteria area, and in front of that there's a sitting area in the courtyard. You find someone sitting there from morning until you leave class, and you ask yourself, when did they go to class? and she's surrounded by these guys, and she's always eating, but she's never in the cafeteria to buy the food. So you ask yourself this question. Am I lying, Yori?
No, it's true. It's true.
Some people go there honestly to socialize. That's just thing is, at varsity college you find different people, because it's not a place, it's not, let me say it's not academic central in the sense that, like we said earlier, enroll kids, and you find a lot of different people. So you find people are there to socialize, people are there to go to class, people are just there for the sake of being there, people are there because their parents want them to attend school. So you get exposed to these different things, and you actually see that some people are just here just to talk. Like someone who gets into the car, get into a taxi in the morning, and come chill in the courtyard until class ends. Legit.
I never understood such people, whether it be guys or girls. I just didn't understand, man. Like, just stay home. Like, you could have
Yeah,
saved
but you don't get the
transport money.
socialization at home, though.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, that's true. But based on the question that Peace asked, I think it's person dependent. Because
Yeah.
I found someone at VC, and then
What's the name? I'm joking.
we don't mention that one. But anyway, yeah, no, I found someone at VC, and she was a very good friend at the time. And I will admit that my intentions were her to be something more than that, which ended up happening, you know, because of how cool we were as friends. So once we got to know each other as friends, and then we started hanging out outside of the varsity, we'd make plans to meet, and then we'd make plans to just spend time together, and we'd talk often over the phone. It became a lot more than just a friendship, and we're still together currently. So that's why I'm saying it's person dependent. It really depends on how you play the game, you know?
Teacher, coach, teach us.
Leadership. Oh man.
Yeah, no, it's right. You do find there are a few gems out there in Moscow. There are people who you can, like, if you get to know them, there are some really decent folk out there. But the majority says otherwise.
You know, because I've got like a lot of friends in varsity college, they always say the same thing, and they always like complain about the rich kids. So now,
What do you mean the rich kids? What complaints are they giving out?
the rich kids well, you know, the fact that they know nothing about the course that they're studying. They always complain to the lecturer even though they don't come to class. They normally say that they make the class harder for the students who actually want to study. You know, because my one friend gave an example yesterday that, you know, there was a person who didn't come to class and wasn't able to write a test, and then they got their parents to come to the school and complain, and now everyone had to redo a test because of the one person.
No, it's wild. I mean, I had that in second year. This girl will never attend a class. In the income assignment time, she doesn't know what she's doing, and she wrote a letter to the dean complaining that the lecturer didn't teach us the stuff. And thankfully that lecturer was keeping attendance. Not all of them do, but thankfully that lecturer was keeping attendance. Then he played his case, and she was told, you aren't attending class, it's on you. And yeah, you do get people that you only see on like exam days or test days and things like that. Because I'm hoping I'm not wrong, because that would mean I need to rethink life. But from what I know, there's no minimum attendance required for my course, at least.
Okay.
So people can actually only attend exams and test settings. So you do get people like that, and you do get people who don't come for classes. That's true. But in terms of interruptions because of rich kids, I haven't really experienced that personally. Don't get me wrong, there are rich kids. There's some cars there that you need to, you look at them and you're like, does someone know about this? But otherwise, no interruptions on my end.
Oh, hectic.
Yeah, but I think what Bex is saying is also true, because I've noticed that the people that have parents which give money to the school are held in high regard, right? So if I want something to happen at varsity college and I like put in a request, it's more likely to be ignored because I don't have parents that are giving money to the school. But if my parents are rich and they're contributing to the school and they're doing all these amazing things, and then the school knows who my parents are, then it's a different story. It's a different dynamic, and you'll never be treated the same way in terms of a request or whatever it is that you want.
Yeah. Talk about favorites at its highest regard.
I don't know. I haven't had that experience per se, but I do have someone in my class that if I have an issue, I go to them, because whenever she sends an email, it gets read and replied to quick compared to mine. So it's not out of the realm of possibility in regards to favorites, but I don't know if it's a matter of influence with money. I don't know that side of it, but there are cases where some people get responses and action quicker than others.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that happens in any varsity. You know, I don't think that issue is unique to varsity college. I think it's a general thing. Not to excuse it, but I'm just saying this does seem like something that happens. You understand? So for me, I do think it is a lot worse at varsity college, because varsity college is not a proper university, right?
Yeah.
Let me explain myself. In terms of the academic dealings and the social interactions and the things that happen, it's not so different from a high school when you think about it, right? Because the experience that I've had at varsity college would have been completely different if I went to a normal university like Wits or UJ, or like a university that isn't a private college. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think that the issues that it does have become intensified because of that.
Oh, okay, I see. Right. Damn. So, just one last question before we just wrap things up. Would you guys recommend VC to someone?
Recommend it to who?
Like, would you guys recommend VC to a friend? You'd be like, yo, you guys should go there, you know?
Yeah, I would. I've enjoyed my time at VC.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming to an end, hopefully in a few months, and I haven't had any big issues with varsity college except for one with regards to an assignment submission.
Yeah.
Then I had to redo the module because they wouldn't bend the knee. But apart from that, my experience at varsity college has been good. I've made good relationships. I've had my fair share of fun, regardless of the fact that I don't do much of the social stuff that Yungi would. I've fun at varsity college, and yes, it's not a conventional university, but with regards to my degree, it's not. It really doesn't affect much. You learn pretty much similar things, and I would argue you're more equipped after varsity college, because they actually place you somewhere for, say, an internship or graduate program or something like that for my degree. So I wouldn't really speak ill of it, badly, because every varsity has its own dark side and things like that. So personally, I'd recommend varsity college.
Oh, okay. And you, Jones?
I would recommend varsity college to someone, but not as a first option.
Oh, okay.
So I would say apply to whatever college it is that you want to go to. If that doesn't work out, then your backup plan should be varsity college.
Okay.
Yes. Because like I said, given the fact that every varsity or tertiary institution has its own issues, there are a lot of problems that are unique to Varsity College and IIE as a brand. Yes. And because of that, that's why I say not as a first option. So if you want to apply at the college you actually want to go to. But if that doesn't work out, then cool. Varsity College would be fine. But then again, I'm not academic and I don't really care about school as much as I should. So I wouldn't recommend college to anyone, really.
I agree. College in general,
guys, thank you, Yongi, Dex. Thank you for taking the time to be on the podcast. For those of you who are listening, I hope this episode was informative. We are trying something new here. We're trying to get people knowing about the insides of different varsities. So hopefully this can be the beginning of something really special. And thank you guys for listening. I really do appreciate it. And as most of you know, we are on YouTube now. So if you don't have Spotify, you guys can go onto YouTube and check it out. And if you guys want to leave feedback, there's the comment section. So it's a win-win for everyone. Thank you so much for listening. It's been Just Vibes with the Click podcast with your boy Peace J. And I will catch you guys next time.
And if anyone out there has a little Dr. Nandipa inside them, Peace has my number.
Amen.